Hello people, it's Blitz here. Welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Online. It's part 5. Episode Tangled Webs. Let's go to the system. About to start the episode. Just reading what we've got to do. Okay, let's get going.
We've arrived in 2268, and not a moment too soon. The Nakul are clearly out for blood. Tholians are quite xenophobic. They may feel the Federation is part of the problem here. We're being hailed by the Defiant. I'll remind you that our orders forbid us from telling them anything specific about the situation. I recommend deflecting their questions until the situation here is resolved.
Good to see you. We're in a real tight spot here. The Tholians were taking a serious beating when we reached the system, and the other ships opened fire on us the minute we dropped out of warp. Mind lending us a hand until we figure out what's going on?
This was a Tholian colony fleet.
See if you can take a little pressure off. We need to firm up our shields.
Okay, I come and save your ass.
Port breach imminent. Attempt.
The aliens have disabled the Tholian Flagship. She's in trouble.
As I said before, try and get as many phases on them as possible. Get them shields down.
An entire Tholian bloodline was wiped out.
Ship integrity compromised.
Enemy boarding parties are beaming to the Tholian Flagship.
Destroyed aliens. Extensively.
Estimated Tholian casualties are in the thousands.
Vengeance. Vengeance for the children.
I do like this ship. I don't know what type of class it is, where we obviously had the Constitution class. I'm not sure where they put it, if this is more powerful than the Constitution or less powerful. So the same sort of setup if you have the Constitution class ship. So far so good. Keep them phases on them. Okay, group 1 done. Let's go to group 2. Finish them off. Get onto the flagship. Save the Queen. So a good old fight. Finish this one off. Don't forget, we can always put these on advanced or elite level, but as I'm doing the tutorial and I'm showing you how to play as a new player, We're just going to play it on standard mode all the way to the end. And what we may do in some of the dungeons, if you want to call them dungeons, we will change them to advanced when we do the starship up and show you the difference between advanced and normal and elite. Okay, fighting done. Let's see what happens next.
Don't suppose you have any idea what's going on here? There's nothing on these aliens in our computers or why they'd attack the Tholians, or us for that matter. Alright, do what you need to do. We'll talk about all of this when the shooting stops. Deal?
I know it doesn't feel great keeping information from the I'll monitor the situation and help you assist the Tholians. Do what you can to save them. Good luck. I've found appropriate transport coordinates on the Tholian Flagship. Hopefully you can convince them that we're not at fault here. If the Tholians go to war with the Federation now, it would be devastating on a galactic scale.
Okay, so when we go to Tholian
Once you have
fighting,
equipped your environment suit, turn it on to prepare for hazardous activity.
we've got to get an environment suit. There's quite a few missions where you've got to have an environment suit. If you don't have one, you basically end up dead in 10 seconds. This is the 23rd century version. So we keep this one. We won't delete this. It just looks different to the other one. Let's beam over.
Reading only a few Tholian life signs. I'm detecting numerous Nakul life signs, and more are on the way. Nakul reinforcements are on their way to your position. Stay alert.
So let's take out the old bad guys, save the Tholians, with the Queen. I don't know if I mentioned, but you can actually play every mission again and again, as many times as you want, and it actually scales to your level. But I'm not quite sure if it actually scales to the ship you're.
The power levels on the flagship just spiked. Something's wrong. I know the Tholians are to blame.
I suppose you can always put it to the test, get the old Constitution out, and go to a couple of hard maps and see if it's mega hard. If it is, you know, it scales to your level and not your ship.
I'm reading more incoming Nakul transporter signatures.
Otherwise it could be a good old fight. I'll get back to you on that one. I'll let you know hopefully in the next episode. Okay, you've got to stop the self-destruct going off. So activate a few consoles. Save the day. So it's all getting blown to pieces. Oh dear, we're stuck. Okay, if you get this bug, you can try stuck command, which is /stuck in the text box. That worked then. It doesn't always work. Otherwise, beam out and basically just go straight back to the mission and carry on.
Energy readings on the flagship are returning to normal. Whatever you did stopped the ship from detonating, but they're not cool. They've killed Tholian colonists and even hatchlings ruthlessly. What they've done here is an atrocity.
Bunch of savages. We'll make sure we take them out.
The last remaining Tholians are close to your position, and more not cool are on their way. I'd hurry if I were you.
There's plenty of them. Is that it? Hello, who's shooting him? Right? More of them are beamed in. Okay, is that it? They give up. Have we saved the day? Okay, what's next?
Humanoid command. Why did you kill your kind? This is irrational. Explain. Federation, not cool. All humanoids are the same. Chaotic, irrational, peaceful, then not. Warring, then you leave. Those you call not cool killed our people. Our children, all are dead. Our sisters must know. Leave now, Federation. Leave us to our final task. You cannot help us. Too late. The hatchlings slaughtered. The colonists lost. Nothing can help in the face of this terror. We must send our message. Others will come. Leave now.
We've got enemy ships on an intercept course, including a dreadnought. We won't last long against a force like that.
Continue to fight, Nakul. Keep them from us while we contact our sisters. If you speak truly, you will not betray us.
Okay, let's beam up. See what we've got to do.
She hasn't been able to send the signal to her people. Orders?
Okay, let's have a little chat. What's the situation here? Where did those alien ships come from? I'd like some straight answers for a change. And I don't need to know, right? I read you, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. That big alien ship is still heading our way. Let's focus on that. Here they they come.
Boy, mate, can't tell you what's going on. Mr. Daniels is giving me direct orders not to say nothing. In the meantime, let's have a good fight.
We just lost our engines. It'll take a while for my chief engineer to work a few miracles. That dreadnought is coming in fast. My engineers are gonna need time. A lot more time.
Get stuck in the old tractor beam. If you're a science officer and your science bridge officers do have an ability to break it, and believe me, it does make life a lot easier, especially when you're in a sticky situation. So the old and the cool are doing everything they can to destroy the Federation, coming back in time, changing the timeline, and Daniels and his agents, and now us, I'm a Temporal Agent. I've got to stop them all.
More ships inbound to our location. The alien dreadnought is concentrating fire on the Tholian Flagship.
Okay, let's try and save the old flagship. See what the story unfolds. Now, I don't know if you know, especially if you're new to Star Trek, all these ships in the game, all these bad ships, all these Nicole ships we're fighting, the Tholian ships, they all drop from lockboxes. But the lockboxes themselves are a lottery. You've got to have a key to open them. Now, all the keys you've got to have, you can buy off the exchange, or you can buy directly off its websites with Zen. And you've got to remember Zen is free, it's a free drop. There's another currency in the game where you just save up. to buy these items. But I don't know how many ships there are. There's a lot of them. Again, as I was saying, it's a lottery. You can get one box, and on the info it say it's going to drop. The chance of dropping so-and-so ship, or R&D equipment, a weapon, a console, all sorts of stuff. And you can open up one box, and you can get the ship straight away. You can open 500 boxes, and you're going to get no ship at all. It's one of those things. Now, if you're a subscriber or a lifer, it's paid lifetime subscription. You also get lobby pistols. Now you can go to the lobby vendor, and you can buy most of the ships from the lobby vendor. Not all of them. I don't think all of them anyway. It's been a long time since I've been to the vendor. There's a lot of ships on there you can buy directly from the lobby vendor, but you're going to need about 800, and I can't remember how many you get a month. Not that looking it up. Again, if you want one, you can save up and buy one. Now the Federation, Klingon and Romulan ships, now they sell them directly in a C-store. Again, Zen, you've got to use Zen to buy them. And the T6 ships are 3,000. Now they do have a couple of times a year a discount, and they come in packs, so you can get a pack of 3 ships. Yeah, so the packs, they're a lot cheaper than buying ships separately, so remember that. That's one of those things. And all T6 ships under the console, and the consoles are all epic, but they only work on certain ships. So remember that, you can't just take the console and stick it in another ship of your dreams. It just doesn't work that way. Otherwise you end up being too powerful.
Rear shields failing.
Federation, you have proven you are different, rational. This pleases us. We have sent word to our sisters. The Nakul will pay. The Federation will not. Now, vengeance for the slaughter of a generation. Vengeance for our children.
The Queen's message has been sent through subspace and... Yes! The timeline's correcting itself. Good work. Now, we just need to help with... Oh no. The Queen is going to full impulse. She's gonna ram the Not Cool Dreadnought!
Our engines are still down! We can't escape!
Oh well, looks like we've lost them. So what Daniels has got to say for himself.
No. I'm afraid that this is their fate. This is one of the hardest things about being a temporal agent. We can only make the changes we have to make, not the ones we want to make. I'm afraid there's not. History states that the Defiant went missing, only to be found here weeks later by the Enterprise. Though they're lost, we now know that they played an important role in keeping the Federation safe, in protecting the timeline. For what it's worth, I will be sure their heroism is included in my report. The Tholians will remember this as well. This encounter may lead them to be more inward-focused, avoiding conflicts with the Federation, for the time being. At the very least, they will know that it wasn't the Federation that was responsible for the destruction of their colony compound.
Well, I'm quite happy to go back in time and save them. Don't care about Daniels. Doing half a job every 5 minutes. Okay, episode finished.
Captain Archer had similar concerns when I worked with him. We often disagreed, but in the end, we were able to work past our differences and do the right thing. I hope you and I can do the same. Leaving Defiant to her fate was a hard choice, but it saved untold billions of lives. That has to count for something.
Okay, let's grab the award, and I'll see you in part 6. Have fun all. Blitz out.